the motivation part is you got to set that standard for yourself. How bad do you really want it? Am I willing to risk it all to get what I want? Because if you are, then motivation's easy.
So would you say create a target first?
You have to be singularly minded on your goal and set the standard to say, I will do whatever it takes to get there. Everybody has a dark side. Freedom of choice. We're humans, but everybody has a dark side. Now, do you succumb to the dark side or do you live in the light side? Well, ideally, you live in the light side, but you still have that dark element about yourself. So true winners know how to transform dark energy and move it over to light energy. Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, they had darkness in their soul, but they transformed it to become the best ever in their era of basketball. You know, Nate just broke up with his girlfriend, right? And I just told him, hey, you know, same advice. Figure it out. Lessons learned. Cut it off. The more you try to hang on to, explain your situation, your viewpoint, all that bullshit, the less you are focusing on your goals. You gotta cut it off, man. Yeah. You gotta cut off. Stick to your line. Stick to your line. Stay in your lane. People are gonna merge in when they want to merge in, but at your speed. Yo, what's up, everybody? This is the End-to-End Podcast, and I'm your host, Dr. Yun Win. And as my friends affectionately call me the Ninja or Prolific Ninja, because my fans are my friends, you can call me Ninja too. This is the End-to-End Podcast, the Alpha to the Omega, the beginning to the end, talking about life, motivation, drive, self-improvement, success, fulfillment, and offering you morsels in this all-you-can-eat buffet called life. Welcome back to the podcast. Still start of 2024, still in January. I'm hoping you're crushing your goals. I'm working hard to crush mine. In fact, this is how it's done, actually. I set up an accountability group and invited people to come on through the group. In the group, the way I've structured mine is you post what a specific goal you have is, whatever it may be, and a certain timeline to hit it. That way it's known. You put it into the universe. You put it to the rest of the group, which we have, I don't know, like 10, 12 people right now. And then everybody's holding each other accountable. Hey, did you do this today? Did you do that today? Did you get your work on it? Most of it's about fitness. Mine personally is about career accomplishments, achievements, including fitness. But this is how you get it done if you have problems motivating yourself or with self-motivation. So if you want to join the accountability group, hit me up with the message on DM, Instagram, and YouTube, whatever, at N2N podcast, and we can make that happen. But it is 2024. I'm going to start my podcast as I start my day. If you're new to the show, I always wake up in the morning expressing gratitude to God, the universe, for another day, another opportunity to be great. So with that, I want to thank you all out there for starting this podcast this year with me. Those of you all who have been with me for now almost 2 years, thank you all for making this show great, for sharing the show, following, commenting, all the support. I'm very, very grateful for. If you're new to the show, or as you know, I do the show on my own dime, on my own time. So we invest a lot of money in the show, full studio, full team to produce the show. And there's a lot of effort and sweat into this show, blood, sweat, and tears into the show. And so because there are no sponsors and I can say whatever the hell I want, the only way we grow the show is if you share the show. So we do this based on a knowledge or value exchange. If you learned anything, just a little inkling, just 0.00001%, or found yourself to get better, found some value in the show for yourself, shared it, whatever, please do share the show. That's how we grow. As I like to say, if your knowledge swole, share the show. That is how we grow. Usually I'm out here talking for 10, 15, 20 minutes about a topic about success. If you've been listening since the start of 2024, we've had a series of episodes related to things you can do to help you crush it in 2024. The first one was be a standard, set the example. The second one was do the hard things. I'm going to hit you with the third one next week. But this week we have, we're going to break it up a little bit and go back to Prolific QnA. So we have Prolific QnA where I have a guest host, my producer, Arib Mirza, right here, my guy, to ask questions that I don't know, 2 questions about that I don't know ahead of time. And, you know, we just have conversation, talk about it. We also have Prolific POV coming soon, talking about current events. And then finally, we have one where we have guests on. The most recent one is with Roderick Batson, with Katie Angels and all of his entrepreneurship endeavors. So glad to be here. Glad to be back. Glad to be starting 2024 on a huge note. Things already going on, man. Just ready to crush it. And as you've heard before, my expression, my key phrase for 2024 is I want more in 2024. With that, we're going to start with prolific QnA. My guy, Arif Mirza, how was your start of 24 been so far?
It's been pretty busy, man.
Yeah?
Yeah.
In what ways? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing different? And, what are your goals for this month or year or whatever?
So,
And why aren't you in the accountability group, bro?
you didn't add me.
Oh, okay. Got to add you now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll wait for that.
All right.
So it wasn't like as soon as January started, I started doing things differently. It was something that built up to January. So it was pre-planned in, let's say, starting November. So I'm like, okay, I need to take some steps to get prepared for January. It's not like January changed, my routine changed.
Yeah.
It was just simple steps, simple implementations that needed to just better improve my overall life.
Yeah.
To go in stronger and just get a head start overall.
Yeah, I love that,
2024,
man.
yeah.
Because, I've been talking about on the show since the fall of doing 75 hard in the fall so that you're actually running into 2024 with full momentum, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're not saying, oh, New Year's, midnight. Now what do I need to do for 2024? It's like, I already know what I'm doing. So I'm already running while people are just getting started or in competition or whatever. So I love that, man. I love to hear that. Man, you actually do listen to the show, bro.
I do. Every single one.
Yeah. Multiple times to produce it. No, but that's a lesson for you all out there. Like, I understand people setting goals on an annual basis. The New Year is a perfect time to do it. But the real winners out there know that there's no different between the day of December 31st, 2023 and January 1st, 2024. It's another day just to get better.
Yeah.
So there's no like aha moment. Oh, this is the start of the year. It's like every day is the same day in the consistency. And that's actually how you win. People like, I'm going to slow down at the end of the year and then I don't pick up at the start. No, every day is another day. And if you have that, it's very stoic. And people might say, well, it's kind of boring if you're living like that. But the reality is the results is what makes life exciting.
Exactly.
The results is what makes life great. The results is what makes life worth pushing for more. Too many people just kind of swirl around in this constant vicious cycle of, I'll get ready and then never do it. I'll get ready again and I'll never do it. And I'll get ready again and never do it. And then that's why they don't live an exciting life.
You either do it or you don't.
You either do it, get the results, and get and continue and build momentum. And that is what brings joy to life and fulfillment. But anyway,
right.
Glad to hear you're on a good start, man. Let's get into this prolific
What about
QnA.
you? How have you started?
Man, 2020. Oh, yeah, good question. Before we get into QnA, 2024 has been like a rocket.
Yeah.
It's been like a rocket straight out the gate.
Like business-wise,
Business-wise, I mean, we didn't
yeah.
stop. I mean, we were, at least the law firm settling cases, doing all that
I know you're
throughout
already
the
running
holidays.
a marathon. It's barely.
Yeah,
week of
training for a
January.
half marathon starting by the time this airs, I would have just run the half marathon on Sunday, but the preparation has been fantastic. I'm a sprinter, like I sprint and then rest and sprint. But training for the half marathon, like the most I've ever ran before is like 2 miles. So just earlier this week, ran 8 miles, 8.3 miles, and it's taught me. I don't want to say mental endurance, but the idea that you can mix it up. Like you're not stuck to just one way of perception. I'm just a sprinter. I'm a power impact guy. Now I can say, well, I can start doing some endurance thing and like outlasting people.
Would you say it helps you build discipline?
It did, because I hate running. Yeah. And then to say, man, let's go run 5 miles a day. I have to get over that mental hurdle.
Yeah, not everyone can do that.
Right. And then the flip side is adaptability. Like yesterday, we were supposed to record this podcast yesterday. So the idea was, okay, go run 2 miles and then go in to record the podcast. But then as I'm running my 2 miles, I'm like, man, I feel real good. Let's push it today.
Yeah.
And pushed it all the way to 8 miles. I didn't stop.
That's
So
good.
then, but then I realized I had to push off the podcast today. So, there's a lot of lessons to be learned in the training for something or in the preparation for something, not just going out and doing it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
man,
I
2024.
actually
Yeah, go
took
ahead.
your advice because I run like 2 miles every day.
Yeah.
I just try to average my pace up higher. So when I told you I can only run like a mile in 5 minutes, you were like, no, try to push further.
Yeah.
So I did try that in the first week, and it actually worked.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, let me just go back. It doesn't matter if my heart beats fast or legs are hurting. Let me just go for it, anyways.
Yeah. You
And
just mind over the matter,
yeah,
right?
and it worked. I was surprised. I was like, damn.
Yeah, it's taught me how strong it's reinforced the idea of how strong the mind actually is. Like I started training, I want to say late October, and I was at, I don't know, 12-minute mile. Now I'm sub 10.
Yeah.
Pretty good. I'm still carrying my bulk, my weight. I weigh the same, but I'm more muscular, so I've gained more muscle mass and leaned out.
Yeah. And
So
good music helps too.
yeah, good music.
Good music helps.
It's just you get in that zone. But anyway, 2024 has been great. A lot of car meets, a lot of business networking. Actually, in fact, we're starting a new real estate project. Or looking at starting a new real estate project. So it's right out the gate, bro. It's right out the gate, and that I attribute that to the idea of sprinting into the holidays, so that right out the gate you're not picking up. You're already at a full stride.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to keep that momentum going. And with the accountability group, like I say, DM, email, ask at the N2N, the N number 2N podcast.com if you want to get added to it. But this is a no BS accountability group. So if you're going to bring your feelings or if you're going to bring whining or complaining, we don't want none of that. You'll get booted out of it. This is straight up no BS, helping everybody in the group get better, accomplishing whatever goal they is over whatever time frame. That's the idea right here. So let's get into it, man.
All right.
Prolific
Ready?
Q&A.
Let's do
Question
it.
number
All right.
one.
Question
And
number
again,
one.
I don't know these questions ahead of time. I'm just off the cuff, gunslinging it, so to speak.
All right. Let's do it. Ready?
Yep.
All right. I seem to never have motivation and struggle to build discipline to build a life I want. Do you have any advice for me?
Man, I seem to struggle with motivation and don't have the discipline. What
And
advice?
struggle to build discipline
Build discipline.
to build a life I want.
Man, it goes back to
We'll assume he's in his mid-20s.
okay, yeah. I mean, regardless of the age.
Yeah.
Because even with Nate, my boy, in basketball, it goes back to
Your why?
it goes back to the first 2 lessons of the year. Setting that standard for yourself. That builds your motivation. Right? If you always give yourself an excuse out, your standard is I'm always going to find a way out.
Yeah.
So you can't get motivated. Right? If you're like, because action takes effort, it takes energy. Nature has designed us. I mean, you look at lions in the safari desert, the safari jungle. They're lazy until they're hungry.
Yeah.
And then they go out and chase down, antelope or whatever. Whatever they need to feast on. And then they get a full belly and then they become lazy and sleep again. That's nature.
Yeah.
Humans are like that. Right? So the difference is we have rational thought, assuming animals are working on instinct. Humans have rational thought. We have choice. And so we can choose to be at our natural state, which is lazy until you got to do something.
Yeah.
Or you set the standard for yourself where you're just constantly out there hunting and you're never full. And once you set that standard for yourself, then motivation becomes easy. Right? I procrastinate a lot too. I'm just like everyone else, but I have to trigger myself to remember, hey, if I'm lazy or if I procrastinate, what is my team going to do?
Yeah.
What is my family going to do? I mean, Nate's trying to play college hoops. That's only 3% of all high school basketball players get to play college basketball. So he's trying to do something that 97% of people fail. So if you're trying to do something that great or that elite, you can't be lazy and procrastinating. So if I procrastinate, goes back to setting the example. Then I'm setting a bad example for him to achieve his goals. And leadership is about inspiring others to be the best they can be. So the motivation part is you got to set that standard for yourself. How bad do you really want it? Am I willing to risk it all to get what I want? Because if you are, then motivation's easy.
So would you say create a target first?
You have to be singularly minded on your goal and set the standard to say I will do whatever it takes to get there.
Do you think the why behind it is important?
Well, there's a couple episodes, I think the last QnA or something like that is about why. It is important. It helps if your why is bigger than yourself. It's got to be bigger than yourself. It's like 75 hard, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you, I keep harking back to it because it's a really good program for all what we're talking about. Mental endurance, mental strength, and all that. But the difference, the creator of 75 Hard, he's witnessed thousands and thousands of people finish it and thousands of people fail it. And the difference is people that try fail and people that decide to do complete it.
Yeah.
So your why is it could be I need to prove it to myself and others. It could be I need to do this for a better lifestyle for others. Like if you add I need to fill in the blank for somebody else, it kind of creates like the accountability group,
Mm-hmm.
right? I need to do this so Arib can go accomplish something.
Yeah.
If I'm going to be a leader. So then it makes it feel like, man, so in the opposite is if I don't do something, then I'm letting Arib down. And karma rebalances. And so you've set up for that negative karma to hit you when you're letting other people down, right? Now, if I do something and Arib benefits, now karma owes me something, and I'm building one in the bank. So when you make it bigger than yourself, then all of a sudden you're building karmic credit that in some point in time, and it might sound wonky, people are like, karma, whatever, dude. God's will. Yes, it is, but karma is part of that. Energy always balances out, right? Yin and yang, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're building all this credit by making your why bigger than yourself for other people, and you continue down that line, then you're stacking. You're stacking. So there's that for the motivation. The second part of the question is discipline.
Yeah.
And that goes back to the second topic that we just aired last week, which is do the hard things. You say, self-improvement and it's a simple topic. It's really, all this stuff is making it complicated. It's really simple. You go back to the episode, I forget which one, about callousing,
Mm-hmm.
right? You're lifting weights every day. And, I don't know if you can see it, calluses here, calluses on this hand. You're working out, you got calluses. That's the same thing about doing hard things. Except you're callousing your will. Right? You're like, if I did this hard thing, then I'm really wimping out if I don't do the next hard thing. Like how do I say it? If you set your standard where you've done hard things at this level, and for those of y'all just listening, I have my hand in the air, and then there's a task you need to do that's below that level, and you don't do it,
You're not going to reach that level.
No. I'm saying you've already done this higher level, but
So it gets easier
but
to
you don't
do
have
it,
the
yeah.
discipline to do something at a lower level. Then what does that say? Because you're not doing enough hard things. You're not willing to say, I've done some hard shit, so I can basically do everything that's underneath that.
Yeah. So anything that comes above a level is, let's say you're already at a level, and then anything that's below a level doesn't really matter to you because you've already done it. So your
No.
tolerance goes up. No.
No. So let's say you do something at a difficulty, a hard level of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that assumes if you're able to do a 10, then you should be able to do everything below 10.
Yeah.
So you're able to do more things. You have the discipline to do more things. So then if you constantly do things at a level 10 hardness,
Got it.
Right.
I confuse it for you saying for stress.
no. I'm
no,
talking about
okay.
discipline.
Discipline, got it.
So then if you push your ability to do hard things up to a level 12,
Mm-hmm.
now you've added another 2 layers of things you're able to do. And so you just do them.
Yeah.
So you're constantly raising. So if you constantly do hard things and harder things, it becomes easier to accomplish more things
Yeah.
below that level of difficulty
Because you've already done it.
because you've already done it.
Yeah.
And that helps you build the discipline. Now, where I have a problem is that if it's too easy, then I prioritize those items less.
Well, it's too easy for you.
It's too easy. Like, it's not challenging enough. And that's just something I got to work on. Like, do the easy shit too, instead of just always constantly challenging myself, right? It's like, oh man, that's easy. I don't have to do that, right? So I have to switch up my thinking personally to say, man, if I'm doing things at a difficulty level 12,
Give me an
instead
example.
of passing up a level 1, well, I mean, you
For
know,
both, yeah.
okay, it's just like
the easy one. The
easy
difficult
one.
ones I understand.
Yeah,
but
like, I mean, simple shit. Like, let's just put it this way. It's everybody, easy. I'll go work out. My feet hurt inside my shoes. So I come home, drop my bags down, go to the bathroom, just kick off my shoes. Right? And then put on my slides or whatever, clean up and go on about my day. Well, my shoes are still laid out. Right? So my difficulty level is I'm doing shit crazy, like arguing for millions of dollars in court, but I can't put my shoes away. So then I have to stop myself in the middle of it, lock in on my discipline and say, okay, let me pick up my shoes, stack them neatly in my closet, and then go about, takes like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
But how many of us kick off our shoes and just leave them there, and the next morning you see your shoes laying in the living room?
It's true.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? So I have to actively, like, damn, I gotta go put my shoes away. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I mean, that's like a level 0.0001 of skill. Doesn't take skill to put your shoes away, but it's the mental discipline to say, oh, damn, let me go pick up my shoes, go put them away, and then go about my day.
Same as making your bed.
Same as making your bed, right? So it's doing those hard things mentally, physically, whatever, like constantly challenging yourself in difficulty that allows you to build the discipline. So going back, motivation, set your standard, find your why, make your why bigger than yourself, and it becomes easier to get motivated. And then, you know, discipline, do hard stuff. Just do hard stuff, constantly do hard stuff. Challenge yourself.
Why could be a bigger like a very big motivator. The why, because for you, for example, would you say your parents were a big why?
Yeah, I mean, they are, you know, my yes, in a way of
Just having that motivation to always.
well, you gotta narrow it in. Like, I don't know when we talked about it, but with my parents, it's like I have to. My why with them is fear of dishonoring their sacrifice.
Yeah.
You know, we left war, or, you know, Vietnam War country. They gave everything up, started all over in their 40s. You know, and built a great life. And so I have to honor that sacrifice. If not, my karmic debt won't be repaid.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So, the bigger your why, like if you truly want to change the world, that's a massive why. Right? That's a huge, huge goal.
Yeah.
Right? But that should be able to drive your motivation. Right? It's like, I'll go back to Nate with basketball. If you really want to play college basketball, your why has to be big enough where I don't have to ask you to go to the gym.
It's true.
Right? If you want it bad enough, you should be like, hey, I'm headed to the gym. I'm like, yeah, peace, good. You know, get a good sweat in. It shouldn't be, hey, Nate, man, I think you need to go to the gym. How big is that why?
Yeah.
How bad do you want it? You see what I'm saying? So if you want to set the standard, like I'm going to be a college basketball player, achieve something that 3% of the people that play high school hoops is going to achieve, you got to go by yourself. It's like medical school, law school. Like, I don't know what the percentages are. I don't know. I mean, how many people you know besides me that has a medical doctorate, and a law doctorate?
Nobody.
Yeah. Right? So I'm trying to achieve something that 0.001% of the population worldwide has ever done. Yeah. Do you think I would be able to do that if I didn't have the discipline to study every day?
Exactly. So I feel like a fair question would be like, why would you do that?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, just because I want to prove it to myself. I'm kind of that guy. Like, I'm kind of the guy that, man, what is something that very few people, or something that no one has ever done before? Okay, let me go after it. Just to prove that I could do it. Yeah. It's just crazy. I had this conversation this morning about that. Like, I'm the kind of guy is like, okay, the worst thing is if you tell me you can't do it. Now I'm like, okay, let me try. Yeah. I might not be able to. Like, I might never be able to slam dunk because I'm 5 foot, whatever, 8'9", and I'm I'm older now, but I can work at it and get close. Maybe just grab the rim. That'd be a win. Yeah. But, you
Okay.
know,
All right, let's move on to question
okay.
number 2.
Question is, I hope that answers the question. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that did.
Okay.
So the why and the target. That's the summary.
Well, the summary would be set your standard and do the hard things.
Yeah.
Set your standard. Whatever the standard, the why falls into that standard, right?
All right, question number 2. I can't get over a breakup and get any work done. I'm 25. How do I get back on track? Seems like I can't think of anything else.
I was trying to avoid relationship questions, bro. Okay, I'm gonna start.
But it kind of ties into what we talk about.
Yeah, of course. I'm going to disclaim that I'm not a relationship expert, although I kind of am, but not officially, and so don't take this as professional relationship advice.
No, I mean, what a relationship. He's broken up, so there's no relationship there.
I know, but it's just how to handle your personal. Okay. For me, and I've had girlfriends. I'm divorced, so I'm by no means an expert, but I have experience.
now.
But I'm remarried.
Yeah.
Great family, but I'm no means an expert, although I have experience. And this applies to business too, or any type of kind of relationship. What I would recommend is you got to take the time to understand a little bit. Understand why it went wrong, what went wrong, how it could have ended up differently. Understanding it helps you what? It helps you for the next relationship. It helps you understand where you may have failed so that you can get better in the next relationship, right? It helps understand maybe what you don't want in your partner for the next relationship. Maybe it helps you understand what worked that you can bring into the next relationship and improve upon.
Gather data.
So anytime, so a broken relationship is essentially a failure, right?
But you got to know the reason why it failed.
You have to you have to understand the reason why it didn't work, why it didn't fail.
For what I meant was, like, if you don't know the reason and you go blindfolded into the next one, you're going to
might repeat the same mistake and end up again. So understand what happened. And that might be, you might have to call that other person. Hey, I just kind of, I know where we are, but I just need to understand what happened. And they may shut you off or whatever, which is okay. But it is a failure. It's a failure on you, a failure on the other person. And remember, I think I talked about it. Your relationship is like a third person. Right? You got to look at it like that. Like there's me, there's you, and the relationship is a third person. So that relationship, that third person also failed. And so you have to understand that failure. Now, you take those lessons you learn. And once you've kind of understood whatever elements that you need to understand from the failure, and you got to rip the Band-Aid off. Disassociate from it completely. Delete the number. Delete the text threads, delete the photos. You got to just shut it off and move on.
Yeah, because the other person doesn't care, so.
Well, not even that. You just mentally, at this point, you don't care about the other person, what they feel. You don't care. Once you understand what happened, then it's done. Done is done. Move on. You got to move on. Because you can't move into the future if you have an anchor in the past. It's impossible. Impossible. Because every time you're stepping into the future, if you're thinking about the past, you're like, you're taking one step forward, 2 steps back. Right? There's a reason why the windshield is huge and the rear view mirror is tiny. You got to look ahead. We're talking about success here. We're not talking about, rainbows and flowers and unicorns. We're talking about how you succeed after breaking up.
What's the worst thing you can do on this time period?
The worst thing you can do is nothing.
Just sit and cry about it?
Sit and cry. Sit and wallow. Oh, pity, self-pity, destroyer of dreams.
Would you say you could use
misery, destroyer of
Would
dreams.
you say you can direct this energy towards, I don't know, like
direct this energy to what?
Working out or
Getting better, improving yourself. And in many instances, everybody, okay, I had this conversation with Nate. Everybody has a dark side. Okay? Freedom of choice. We're humans, but everybody has a dark side. Now, do you succumb to the dark side, or you live dark and light, or do you live in the light side? Well, ideally, you live in the light side, but you still have that dark element about yourself. So true winners know how to transform dark energy and move it over to light energy, right? It's like Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, they had darkness in their soul, but they transformed it to become the best ever in their era of basketball.
Yeah.
Because it's like, figuratively, in your mind, when I compete, in my mind, it's like, I'm coming to kill you, figuratively. Now, I'm not killing anybody.
Yeah.
I'm coming to kill you. That energy is transformed into me training, preparing, getting ready, putting in the extra time, sweat, that negative energy transforms into that so that I can try to do my best to, quote unquote, kill you in competition. That's me. So relationship wise, let's say they dumped you.
I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
Okay. Let's say they dumped you. Now you can transform that dark energy to self-improve and say, man, you dumped some gold. Now, a year, 6 months, a year from now, you don't know what you missed out on.
Yeah, the best revenge is making it.
Well, I don't want to say it's revenge. Revenge. It's not a revenge thing because you're not getting back at them.
Mm-hmm.
You're improving yourself to say, hey, you missed out on a lot. Here I am now. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So you can transform that negative energy into a positive by investing in yourself, working out, getting better, getting a raise, starting a business. It's going to be there. Yeah. Pain is pain, but real winners know how to transform pain into results, into success, right? Everybody's experienced that pain of a relationship breakup. Everybody has. Yeah. Worst thing you could do is just sit there and do nothing. You sit there and do nothing. Misery loves company. And what's going to happen? You're going to attract energy of other people that sit around and do fucking nothing.
Yeah. Negative energy is super.
It's contagious.
It's very contagious.
It's very contagious.
It can lead you down to.
It can lead you down to a path of just self-destruction. So here's the thing. You take that negative energy, make it positive, start self-improving yourself, and then what happens? You start surrounding yourself with people that want to improve themselves. So then in that pool of people, you might find what? Your next relationship, which is inherently going to be better than your last relationship. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So so going back, understand what happened, where you failed, how you could do better, what lessons you can learn. Once that's done, it's done. Yeah. Peel the Band-Aid off, put it in a box, whatever, delete, whatever, and move the fuck on. Like, you got to move up. You got to move on and just forget about it. Mm-hmm. You can't be like, you can't move on if you sit there like, man, I wonder what it'd like if we just stay together. I wonder if it'd be like if we just did that. I wonder if it'd like if we were to, what would it be like going to the restaurant with my ex? No, you got to cut that shit out. Mm-hmm. It's hard. That's where the mental discipline and all that stuff. But if you're focusing on like, man, I got to do 10 more reps of whatever, 225 on the bench, you don't have time to think about, I wonder what it'd be like if I'd still been together with it. You don't have time for that because you're on to the next immediate thing you got to do. So it helps you forget. And then over time, you're just going to forget anyways and move on. You're going to find yourself in a new spot, new surroundings, new friends, new circles, new everything where the old relationship didn't matter anyways.
Yeah. Would you even recommend him to like get with anyone else or just focus on himself till he gets to a certain point where he's respected enough to get into a relationship?
See, I'm always of the impression that my personal experience, you can't go out trying to find a relationship. The best relationships is the relationships that just come to you.
Do you think?
Because when it comes to you, then you've attracted the relationship. And in relationships, people do change, but you don't have to change much from who you are at that time to keep the relationship going. You've attracted the energy to you. Right? I'll give how my wife and I met here, coming out of divorce, whatever. We had a conversation and I was like, no, I'm not looking for a relationship. If it's meant to be, God's going to put that person right in front of me. I'm just going to do my thing. And, God put it in front of me. So it's just like, that's the case.
Yeah, and that doesn't mean just sit at home and do nothing.
Well, you're not going to meet anybody sitting at home. Do not. But I'm saying, like, you can't go
God's
out.
gonna put some.
No. I found that if you go out, what happens? You're desperate.
Yeah.
You want to go out and have a relationship so bad.
Yeah. It's the thing you said about opportunity meets preparation.
Yeah. Well, okay, here, but you're desperate and you want a relationship so bad just to heal wounds or whatever the fuck. The universe will hit you with the energy you put out. Yeah. So if you put out desperate energy,
you get somebody.
What you gonna get? Somebody who's desperate. And desperate people are what? They're clingy, demanding.
You're gonna get the wrong person.
You're gonna get the wrong person. But if you improve on yourself, positive energy, focus on yourself, be yourself, you're gonna attract the person that naturally is attracted to your energy. And then that's a great relationship because the energies are matched. Yeah. It's through the evolution where things fall apart at that point because we're constantly evolving. But that initial attraction is there. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So you can't go out looking for a relationship. They come to you. Yeah. The true ones that stick come to you, is my opinion. But I forget what the question is. They go through a breakup and how do they stay motivated to what?
Yes, and I can't get any work done. I'm 25. How do I get back on track? Seems like
you got it. Okay, spend your time to understand it. Rip the Band-Aid off and move on. When you rip the Band-Aid off and move on, then you're on track to getting done what you want to get done.
I would say don't get into a relationship till you've actually achieved some goals. Till you actually reach some financial success. Let's just say he's an average 25-year-old. If he's broken up, my advice would be just to not look at relationships at all, because
it's okay. That's a hard question. Yeah. In the ideal case, if you're working on yourself and succeeding,
then they will come to you.
They will come to you. Yeah. So I don't want to say don't get into a relationship. If it happened, like me, like I thought I was going to be single dad for the rest of my life, and then I meet Candace, almost less than a year later. It's kind of weird, but it's if it happens, it happens. Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't say go actively trying to get into another relationship. Focus on yourself, build what you need to build, hit your goals, and that way, because what happens is you're on a direction to hit your goals. And then you meet somebody, and it's easy for them to peel you off your direction.
And that's dangerous.
Yeah. So once you've hit a lot of goals successively, anybody coming in has to understand, I'm focused on my goals. Like if you're going to pull me off my drive, we can't have because you know more of who you are, and you know more of what it takes to hit some goals. Mm-hmm. And so you're less tolerant for the BS to pull you off your line. Right? Yeah. And that's the kind of relationship you want. That doesn't mean you're not supporting your partner's goals, but you have to understand you're trying to attract the right person to help push you towards your goals, not pull you off your goals. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So if you rebound on a relationship too prematurely, they're going to pull you off your track. And then the killer of relationships is not hate, it's resentment. Because resentment leads to indifference. And indifference is what kills relationships. I don't care anymore, whatever. Mm-hmm. That means there's no relationship, right? If you hate the other person, hate is a feeling. So you have to understand why you hate them. Like, I love you so much, you're not doing what I want you to do, so I hate you, right? But when you're indifferent, like, I don't care about you at all. So why are we in a relationship? Indifference is the killer of relationships, not hate. So, but the precursor to indifference is resentment. I have these plans. I met you. We're in a relationship. Now I'm having a hard time hitting my plans. And I hate you for it. and then I resent you for it because you're pulling me away. After I resent you and I'm still not hitting my goals, then I don't care about you anymore because my goals are that important to me. And that's how it happens. So if you constantly invest in yourself, whoever comes in is going to understand that. Because what? They're going to be like, hey, man, you're successful. How'd you get here? I focused on my goals. And you say, and if we want to be together, you can't pull me away from my focus.
Yeah. What do you think about the saying, women wait at the finish line?
Man, you're going to get me in trouble with a lot of, I don't know. Hopefully I'm spitting facts. Yeah. Women wait at the finish line. They don't wait because nothing against ladies, but they do have, whether you agree or not, they do have a biological clock.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So I don't want to say that they wait at the finish line. They might be like last person standing at the finish line there.
Wait at the finish line as in they'll choose the winner. They won't pay attention to the person working at Starbucks. Does that make sense?
Oh, I see what you're saying. That is true. Yeah. That is true. Because, okay, this is real spitting some knowledge. Okay. Yeah. This is spitting some real knowledge. Okay. You go back to, and rightfully or wrongfully, whatever, I'm probably going to get some hate for this. You go back to the essence of being a man and the essence of being a woman. Yeah. What is our natural genetic wiring? Okay. For men, it's to provide and protect. All men, if you're a real man, that is how you're wired. Mm-hmm. Provide and protect your family and those that you love, which is your family. Let's assume it's your family. Provide, protect for your family. In this case, my staff, my team are extended family, so I have to think about providing and protecting for them. How I run my business is providing and protecting them. Okay, but let's just talk about in relationship, in family. So inherently, men in a mate, because I'm providing and protecting, I don't care what the woman does for a living. All I want is a woman that can what? Raise a family, nurture a family, right? So I don't care what status or what level they are. Yeah. And that's why men can go date, nothing against McDonald's workers.
They don't realize that.
They don't care. Yeah. I don't care what you do. I can date whoever.
Yeah. Women don't realize that.
Right.
Men don't really care about your status. Yeah.
Right. Men don't care about status. Yeah. Men just care about, hey, will you be a good mother to my children? Yeah. Because while I'm out battling the world, I need to make sure my woman at home is nurturing and raising the kids. Okay, that's God's law. That's natural law. Yeah. Okay, whether you believe in God or not, that's natural law. That's genetics. It's how we're wired. Okay, flip it. Women. All right, what do they look for in a men? Men that can provide and protect. Okay, that can provide. And I'm not talking about go fight dragons, provide and protect. I'm like, just security. Women want security because as I'm raising the family, I need to know that I'm secure because I'm not going out hunting the lion. I'm raising the kids. So the way society is constructed, there's a perception that money provides that security. Okay? Money provides, and to a large extent, it does. And so women go out looking for what? Generally successful men. Yeah. Right?
It's not not just money. Like money's obviously a
big
because component, but just certain things like looks and stuff that matter too. But money, I would say, just gets you into that door.
No. I'm breaking it down more fundamentally.
Okay.
I'm hypothetical. I have this gift of being able to put myself in other people's shoes. It's kind of weird. If I'm a female, which I'm not, I'm a he man. Okay. If I'm a female, I know nothing against Starbucks workers. Love me some good coffee.
Check this out. Especially in this generation, with all the options women have, would you choose you?
Well, that's a good question. So that's a great question for a dude.
Yeah.
Knowing all that's out there, all the competitive field, if I want the best woman, would I choose myself?
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. This is how a woman would, whether they admit to it or not, subconsciously or genetically wiring in the limbic system, okay, in the reptilian brain, this is what they're thinking. Nothing against Starbucks workers. Probably, I don't know what they get paid. 15, 20 bucks an hour? 15 an hour. You gross that out, that's 30,000 a year. Okay, in this economy, what does that get you? Not a lot of security.
Okay.
So no, like you'll get you maybe an okay apartment that maybe,
I'm talking about family wise, like
no. I'm talking about I'm talking about just in security.
Okay.
What does $30,000 a year provide somebody in terms of the basic needs of life? Shelter, food, clothing, transportation, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm not even talking about internet, Netflix. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about the basics. Okay, so as a female, I'm looking at $30,000 a year dude, like, hey, he's attractive, good guy, good quality guy, but man, subconsciously, I can't be certain I'll feel secure.
Yeah.
Okay, now, ugly dude, not fit, out of shape, making $1 million a year.
He stands a better chance.
Not that stands a better chance of providing security to the same lady.
That's true.
So I'll discount my value system on these things, on attractiveness and all that, but I'm secure. $1 million is going to get me a lot of security.
Yeah.
Subconsciously, women just want security because the dudes are going to provide and protect. They're going out hunting. You go back to human nature, human civilization. Dudes are going out hunting, providing and protecting, and women are nurturing. Despite what you want to, you can shape, bend, transform, whatever society wants you to transform, but that is basic human. You cannot fight it. You cannot fight it. And so that's why sometimes you're like, man, how did she get with that dude? She feels secure.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's why as men, confidence is important. You don't have to be successful, but you have to have a plan to be successful. Right? And executing on that plan, not lying about being successful. Oh, I got a plan. I'm going to do this. No, you got to have a plan. And that will get you to the more secure a lady feels around you, the more likely you will be in that relationship. That's the bottom line. People say that about me, bro. I'm 5'8", 9. Okay, I keep my fitness and all that.
No,
many times throughout my life, what the fuck did she see in you?
No, I think you definitely check a lot of the boxes.
But I'm just saying.
Put you in the average category.
No, well, I've worked on it though. Yeah. Like, I never lack confidence. Confidence is huge.
Yeah.
Confidence is huge. Life is stressful. Sense of humor, huge. Then you add success or a plan to success, huge. So if you're a dude out there, stay in line with your path to success, but because that builds the confidence. It builds that, man, it goes back to energy, bro. You're going to vibe that energy of confidence. Hey, whatever you need, I got you. That's what a woman wants. Yeah. Fundamentally, whatever you need, I got you. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Right? That way they can focus on ultimately what? Nurturing, raising a family, whatever. Whatever. Hate me, love me, hate. I'm going to get a lot of hate on this for sure. But it's nature. It's nature's law. You cannot fight nature's law.
Yeah. And you can, like if you're a Starbucks worker, for example, we're beating on the Starbucks worker, for example.
No, I love Starbucks. Nothing against Starbucks.
Yeah. Even if you do manage to get a woman based on your looks and stuff, just realize it'll be temporary if you don't have that drive.
That's right. So it's just like money. Yeah. You get it easy, but can you hold on to it?
Yeah.
Right? You can get people, okay, yeah, I get infatuated with looks. Not me. I'm just saying, like, hypothetically. Yeah. Looks great, man. Let's go out on a dinner. Okay, well, I can't really afford, this high-end whatever restaurant, so let's go here instead. Now the lady's going to be like, okay, well, I might give it a shot once or twice, but,
Yeah, just realize it's temporary until You know.
Yeah, because you listen, you don't have to be
Yeah.
making $1 million bucks. I'm just
Especially,
saying you got to have a plan.
especially in today's age, man.
Y-
It's
Well,
you
social
have
media has killed it.
yeah,
It's
social
crushed
media
it.
is
It has really hurt that. But, you know, but on the flip side, again, the men, they're looking for somebody that can really nurture a family. So,
yeah. You better go to South America, bro.
no, I'm not saying that. No, bro, no, I'm not saying that. But this whole idea of body count and all that stuff, I mean, when I see, and I call me old fashioned, I'm an older guy, so different Generation X, Gen X are best generation ever, latchkey kids, all that stuff. But like, you know, the whole thing, body count, it doesn't matter. It actually, if you ladies, if you want a quality man, it should matter.
For
Quality,
the guy or for the
huh?
For the guy or for the girl?
Real men are concerned with body count.
No, like who does it matter for? For the guy, right?
Well, right now, society, at least what I'm seeing, is women tout. They kind of almost brag about high body counts.
Yeah.
Right? I don't care. I'll sleep with whoever. No, but real men, body counts do matter.
Yeah.
They do matter. Because to a certain extent, it represents your standards and what you value.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So if you don't have standards enough to say no to something, how can you nurture a family?
Exactly.
If you don't have a certain standard or value system to appreciate your gift from God is the ability to bear a child.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't have enough of respect or values to keep that special to you, the mechanism, what does that represent in your ability to nurture? What type of respect are you going to give a child?
Yeah.
My offspring.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So for real men, they're gonna okay, yeah,
Yeah. And
you're a
this,
great person, nothing against it. I'm just making this is my own personal subjective viewpoint. So I might be completely wrong, 99.9% wrong, but I'm just saying real men put a value on it.
Yeah. And they say it doesn't matter, but when you ask them, they're like, it's private. Okay, why is it private?
Well, no, I'm talking about relationship viewpoints. Like
Yeah.
real men, it'll be like, because again, I go back to fundamentally, subconsciously, is men are hardwired in our genetic code to provide and protect. Right?
Yeah.
And in that, if you're going to provide and protect and bear offspring, we're genetically wired to want to extend our bloodline. Then the second thing is we are hardwired to find in a mate. I'm talking about long-term, not like flings or anything, like long-term mate that can nurture that offspring. Hardwired, undeniable. You ask any real dude, hey, what do you want? Man, I just provide, protect. I want a family that, wife that takes care of the family, that.
Yeah.
Women, hardwired, whether they want to admit it or deny it. And I'm not talking about gender preference and sexual preference. I'm not talking about all that. I'm just talking about you're hardwired, generally speaking, bell-shaped curve, remember, like the large percentage, hardwired for safety and security. Yeah. Hardwired. Yeah. So naturally then, the more you can provide what the other side is looking for, more successful you're going to be in that department. Yeah. Similar. It's just supply and demand, economic, going back to business. It's economics. Yeah. And the demand is this, so if I can supply that demand, I'm going to sell more.
Yeah. And just the other side of the coin, like women want what women want. Like are you able to provide? Are you able to, fulfill these basic needs? Are you qualified to even?
They're not even basic. It's subconscious needs. Yeah. It's subconscious needs. They might not.
I'm talking about from the man's perspective, like even men in general, they're not doing the basic things they're supposed to do. So that's
true.
Yeah.
True. And that's why, to a large extent, certain fabrics of society are crumbling. Yeah. Right? Now, I'm not saying these are absolute, but generally speaking, this is how it works. Agree or disagree? I mean, I don't know. Agree or disagree? Put them in the comments. Like, send me an email, whatever. Like, you can, whatever. I'll take it in stride. It doesn't matter. But like, it's like that. That's the hard truth. Yeah, I'm coming from a perspective of, studying medicine, human behavior, all that shit that that's what I see. It's what I feel and what I know for a fact.
Yeah. Very little to disagree about. I mean,
For a fact.
like that, yeah.
For a fact,
Yeah.
dude. Nate just broke up with his girlfriend, right? And I just told him, hey, same advice. Figure it out. Lessons learned. Cut it off. More you try to hang on to, explain your situation, your viewpoint, all that bullshit, the less you are focusing on your goals. Gotta cut it off, man.
Yeah.
Gotta cut off. Stick to your line. Stick to your line. Stay in your lane. And people are gonna merge in when they want to merge in.
Yeah.
But at your speed. That's it. I don't know, man. I don't know how we got way off into into men and women, biological and all this shit. But like, I hope that answers the question. Whoever is out there that asked the question.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
I think it does.
Okay.
Just
Anything else? That's good.
That's a summary.
Okay. Anything else for prolific
That should be it.
Q&A? All right, man. Two great questions. Hope you learned something. Maybe it was a little controversial, I guess, but that's where it went.
That's a juicy bit. Yeah.
It was a little bit juicy, both sides, whether you agree or disagree. That's just, that's the whole point of prolific Q&A is the questions are asked and I'll just put it out there. But if you found value, hopefully you did, inspired some way, learned something, whatever, please do share the show. If you're knowledge swole, share the show. That is how we grow. You can find us all on platforms, on all social media platforms at End-to-End Podcast. If you have any questions, you're more than welcome to DM, put it in the comments, or email me, ask@the2npodcast.com. I'm going to end my show as I end my day, which is an expression of gratitude. I want to thank you all for listening, sharing, supporting the show, as I thank God every night, the universe every night, for an opportunity to have made an impact and be great again. So with that, next week, we'll probably bring you another episode around the third principle to help you crush 2024. But I want more in 2024. Hopefully you do too. Be grateful today, but be even more grateful. Looking forward to seeing you again soon.